I have a one's gotta go for you.
About what?
Board games. We love board games in this house.
Yes, we do.
So let's see which one has to go.
All right, so we got Battleship, Sorry, Scrabble, and Monopoly. That's an interesting mix of board games. And I think you might have set yourself up for failure on this one.
What do you mean?
I'm picking Scrabble.
Yeah, me too.
I can't spell. That's unfair. I have a public school education.
And I have dyslexia.
So why would you even put Scrabble up there?
Because it's a great game.
It's not.
It
It
is.
just makes you look stupid.
I mean,
It either makes you look stupid or you're a cheater because you be making up words. Because you can't tell me half of the people that play Scrabble and Boggle don't be just making up stuff. It's an African word. No, we're playing American Scrabble. I feel like that's the only other board game where I get weirdly patriotic. It's like, no, we're playing American. If it ain't in an American dictionary, Webster's dictionary, I don't want to hear it. And don't be putting bootylicious on there either. That is American Webster dictionary words.
you don't want the Urban Dictionary?
No. No, I don't want slang. If you come up here with some yeet garbage, get out of here. I'm going to yeet this board into your mouth.
All right. If Scrabble wasn't there, which other one would go?
Probably Battleship.
You don't like war?
I do. I'm not saying it's not fun. I do enjoy Battleship. But I don't know. It's not as fun as Sorry or Monopoly. Monopoly's goated and it's never going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And Sorry is great. There's no flaw in Sorry. The only problem with Sorry is that Trouble exists and people get Sorry and Trouble mixed up. Even I got Trouble and Sorry mixed up. Yeah. And Trouble sucks. Trouble's a terrible game.
Yeah.
Sorry's great, but Trouble's no good. So between that, it'll be Battleship that had to go after that. Yeah, no, I can't spell. And until they develop Scrabble with spell check, I'm not playing it.
Spell check.
I need spell check Scrabble.
I used to play around with Scrabble a lot, but I never really spelt real words. But, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scrabble's got to go for sure. That's 100%.
No, I don't like spelling games. I'll play, only game with words that I'll play with some form of seriousness, maybe might be, Wheel of Fortune.
That's a fun one.
All right, that's fine. I'll play that with any form of spelling in it. That's as far as it's going for me. But just straight flat out spelling, absolutely not. No, Scrabble's got to go.
Yeah.
Battleship's okay though. Battle Shots is fun. Have you ever played Battle Shots?
I've seen it. I've never played it.
Well, yeah. I think we both seen it from the same source, which was Cow Chop. Shout out to Cow Chop. Battle Shots looks fun. They have it at Dave and Buster's now, as a winnable thing.
That's cool.
But I've never played it. I don't think would you want to play it? Do you think that's something you could play?
Yeah.
And I mean, in the sense of that's one on average 5 to 8 shots that you're taking in one game.
If it's good shots, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That just seems like a lot of alcohol. Is what I'm saying.
5 shots is an average person's bar time.
Yeah, but you're playing it with intense strategy. So now I'm stressed and drunk.
Stressed and drunk.
No, I don't know about that. That might be too many shots for me.
Okay.
But it seems like it
for
could
you,
be fun.
maybe, yeah.
You trying to say I'm a lightweight?
I'm just saying you don't drink. So it's gonna be a lot,
right?
For you,
because shots to you people are like gulps to me. I just be wanting to sip and keep it moving, and y'all just be like down the hatch. And it's like, did you taste it?
No, you're not supposed to taste.
Well, that's the problem. You're not. That's why I didn't drink for so long, because everybody's like, ignore the taste. The taste is terrible. So then why are you putting it in your gullet? I enjoy whiskey because I like the taste.
Not a lot of people do.
Well, that's the only thing I enjoy the taste of, and it's not even all the whiskeys. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, number 1.
Although we didn't
Crown.
We didn't talk about this, but we went to Ren Fair the other weekend, and they had Smirnoff's red, white, and berry alcohol. with some lemonade and that stuff.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good.
Delicious.
I barely tasted the alcohol.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
I didn't even know there was alcohol in it until you told me after the fact.
They just had those little like shooters, and they put that in there and lemonade. It was simple, and that's what I like in a drink. It's simple. You don't taste the alcohol crazy. I mean, it's there, but you don't taste it like that.
Right.
And there you go. Good, tasty drink.
All right, so how about that? Which one of these games is fun to play drunk? With drinking. I guess Battle Shots would be number one. So then how about that? Then we're just going to keep moving.
Although, Drunk Monopoly is a good time.
I feel like if you start drinking with Monopoly, either A, it's going to get out of hand way too fast.
It does.
Or you're going to turn into like regal pompous jerks. Like all you need is like Monopoly, some scotch, and a cigar, and now you're playing Monopoly for real. At this point now, it feels like it's a little too real. You're just like, and now I'm going to make some Swiss bank account moves. And
Not the Swiss bank account.
It's getting a little too real.
No, oh my goodness.
Next thing you know, you play Monopoly 1 or 2 times in that matter, you're thinking like, I could do this for real.
I saw a video of a couple that they were arguing, and they were like, well, at least I don't print extra Monopoly money when we play. I was like,
Wait
cheating.
a minute. Is he printing it mid-game?
He printed it before, I guess, and had it in his pocket. Just whipped it out.
I mean, now whose fault is that? His or the banker? I kind of blame the banker. I blame the bankers. It's your job to kind of keep tabs on where money's flowing.
But if there's a lot of money going everywhere.
It sounds like a personal problem, what it sounds like.
That's a lot.
I think it's the banker's job to keep tabs on people maneuvering money. They made a version of Monopoly for cheaters.
For cheaters? Yeah. I haven't seen that one.
No, it's just, like the whole goal is to just cheat and steal. I said steal and cheats backwards, mixed up. Punch that, reverse it. You know what I meant. But yeah, no, they made a version for Monopoly for cheaters, and then they made a version of Monopoly for people who can't count. Because now they gave everybody debit cards.
Oh.
Which I thought is stupid lame. Like at that point, that's half of the fun gone.
Kids don't use money anymore.
Yeah, but
money's not real.
Well, no, money's very real. No. Debit is not real. And I would like to not be playing Monopoly with debit cards. That's crazy. How are you supposed to make shady deals? Like that's half of the fun is making shady deals.
You don't do that.
I love Monopoly. I love Monopoly specifically for the shady deals.
I know you do.
How many Monopoly games have you played where you just play cleanly?
Not many.
Anybody in this world, I would like to know. Comment below. If you played a straight game of Monopoly, no cheating, no backdoor deals, everybody was up and up on the trades. Nobody's even up and up on the trades. Everybody's trying to get one over on the trades. Mm-hmm. So I would like to know if anybody's ever played an up and I don't even think there's a such thing as up and up or like, what would you even call that? Like Monopoly played right? Sounds gross. I need
non-corrupt.
Uncorrupt Monopoly? Even worse. I need mine nice and corrupt like at the real world. But Monopoly drunk sounds good. Sorry drunk is actually just a mess. Because I enjoy Sorry just to fling people's pieces all over the board. So if I'm drunk or just like amongst drunk people and they're just tossing your pieces halfway across the room and stuff. Like now it's just half of the game is just finding the pieces after you launch them.
Oh my God.
And then they had the nerve to make like a Sorry version with slingshots and stuff too. So now you can just shoot people's pieces off the board. See,
that's crazy.
I do enjoy an enhanced version of all of these board games. Like every last one of these board games have enhanced versions except for Battleship because you can't enhance Battleship. Yeah. Battleship is solid from day one.
Well, you did with the drunken Battleship.
But Battle Shots, but that's almost a completely different game. Like what I mean of an enhanced version is like they have Monopoly, Monopoly Junior, Monopoly for Thieves, Monopoly with debit. Like they have like 20 different versions of Monopoly. Sorry has, that version, the version with the slingshot. They have giant, Sorry with like life-size pieces, which is ridiculous, and who would ever want to play that? Even Scrabble has like, I'm sure they have a version with like Urban Dictionary words and stuff like that. Or a simplified Scrabble or something like that. Yeah. But Battleship, nothing. Battleship straight.
You don't need it. That's right.
I mean, I get it, don't need it, but an electronic Battleship would be nice. I don't even think they have like an electronic Battleship, do they?
Yeah, they have it.
What are we getting rid of?
Scrabble.
Scrabble? Not even close.
No.
This is what you get when you make a game for people who can't spell or are dyslexic. You know what it is? See, we need to cancel Scrabble. You need to cancel it. It's not. It's ableist.
Ableist.
It's ableist.
Wow.
It's not diverse enough for those who are intellectually challenged. I say you got to cancel Scrabble.
Cancel Scrabble.
Scrabble's canceled. It's not diverse enough. There's no black pieces.
There are no black pieces.
There's no black pieces. There's no transgender pieces. None of that. Canceled. I hereby cancel Scrabble. It is not inclusive enough. It's the least woke sport.
And with that, let's start the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest podcast in the world, the Nonsense Podcast. I happen to be your host, FNBob. FNbobito for the Spanish speakers, the FN CEO, the hostess with the mostest, the habitual line stepper on occasions now. But with me, once again, on the front lines, in front of the camera, once again, is Kelly. Kelly Kells, not in jail. Not in jail.
I don't like that.
Why?
Because it makes it seem like I'm criminal.
No, it was because there's two Kells.
Yes.
And it's you and R. Kelly. No. And R. Kelly is 100% performing concerts in jail right now.
He's not doing concerts.
Yes, he is. He is singing his ass off.
That is nuts.
What else is he gonna do in jail?
He's got to pass the time somehow.
And I'm pretty sure ain't nobody messing with him, because who's gonna beat up a dude that sings as well as R. Kelly? I can't think of anybody else. So R. Kelly might be safe in jail. That's all I'm saying. He cool. He chilling, singing, putting on concerts. But either way, how's it going? How's everybody doing at home? How's your week going? Let me know in the comments below. How's your week going?
It's been good. I have been pretty busy, doing a lot of things, preparing a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, there's big things happening with RK9. There's big things happening personally.
Oh.
So, yeah, there's just a lot going on right now.
Okay.
Well, how you, Bob?
I'm existing as best as I can. I'm doing it one day at a time, taking it one step at a time, doing all the things one at a time. How do you eat? What's the phrase or the catchphrase yet? Is how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. There's no other way to do it.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Question. What do you think elephants taste like?
Yeah. They do have a lot of fat.
Do they? Yeah. I don't know why I thought all elephant was all muscle. They're huge. They had to have had a lot of muscle.
No, they're fat. They're fat. Hippos have half and half. They are very muscular.
I was gonna say they're stupid muscular.
Yeah. But their size is mostly bone. Like it's bone and muscle. Like they actually have big bones.
That's lame. I was really hoping a hippopotamus burger would taste delicious.
Probably not. But, Eskimos eat belugas all the time.
Yeah,
it's just
but they eat
fat.
the fat. Right. They eat straight fat. They don't care, and that's gross. That's just grease. I'm not eating that. Penguin meat sandwich, though, I'll still take.
No.
A penguin meat banh mi sandwich. I bet you they taste like a good banh mi sandwich.
Taste like oil, because that's what they eat.
I'm just saying.
Fishy, oily fish.
I'm just saying, though, but if you cook it up just right, you obviously got to peel a layer of the fat off. I'm saying, so you knock down the fat, You know, you trimming up real nice. There's got to be some meat under there. That's what I'm saying. They swim, so it's got to be like kind of fishy. It's like kind of fishy, but I bet it's like tough meat. Bam, banh mi sandwiches. You cut it up nice and thin. A nice little bit of cilantro, some carrots. Banh mi sandwiches is what I'm saying.
I don't like that.
Somebody, I know there's at least got to be one Eskimo listening to us. Eskimo family, let me know what the penguin banh mi sandwich tastes like.
The wrong set of people.
Eskimos?
Eskimos are north. Penguins live south.
Well traveled.
You'd
Who lives at the South Pole?
There's not South Pole, but penguins come from like the bottom tip of Africa through Antarctica.
So Elon Musk, I know you had a few. He's from South Africa. That man is the most African American man on the planet right now. Go. So Elon Musk, let me know what the penguin meat sandwich tastes like. I bet he had one. Elon Musk got too much money not to at least taste the penguin. Kelly, I know you're an animal lover.
Yes.
But there's got to be at least one animal that you got to be curious about, like what that tastes like. Just based on the size, muscle, flavor profile. What's getting ate all the time? Zebras get ate 24/7.
They do. They
gotta taste halfway decent. Is what I'm saying. They might not be worth it, but they gotta taste half decent. If all the lions is eating zebra.
I mean, that's kind of the easiest thing that's around them, but I'm assuming it kind of would taste like horse. Mexicans eat horse.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So.
FNBob does not know what the horse tastes like.
There you go.
I assume. All right, so that's how you got to figure it out. Whichever animal has the best defense mechanism probably tastes the best. Because if we think of like fruits and plants and animals, wherever typically who's fighting off the most stuff is getting ate a lot, so they got to taste good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I love spicy peppers, and peppers literally made themselves poisonous to normal people to stop eating it, and then we're just like, I like the spice. So we keep eating it.
So I guess it depends on, do you want to go water or land? Because there's...
All right, so start with the water. You're very adept to the water animals.
I know the water lives. The first thing that came to my mind was sea urchin. Because...
We eat that, though.
We do eat that. But they have a crazy... outer shell, and it has spikes all over it that are actually sharp. That was just the first thing that came to mind.
Have we eaten sea urchin before? I feel like we've never had it before.
Yeah, we have.
Did we?
At sushi, yeah.
Oh, they just drop it on the sushi. Okay, never mind.
Sushi, yeah. But then you get the stonefish, or not stonefish. There's a fish that has, it's very venomous.
The pufferfish?
Pufferfish are too. They get eaten a lot in Japan.
See?
And they have a poison
I'm starting
sack.
to think that's what it is. Is whatever is the most deadly tastes the best.
Mm-hmm.
I've had snake now.
Yep.
We've had alligator.
Mm-hmm.
What's out here offing everybody? Porcupines? Are they good?
I don't think so.
They're rodents. So rodents wouldn't be good. I don't know. All right, now that's a second hand question for those at home. What's the weirdest animal that you have eaten that seems kind of off the wall? Shark fin soup? It's super illegal.
Sharks. Yeah, it is very illegal. Don't do that.
No.
I will disown everybody that does.
But your Finnish people eat shark all the time.
They do eat the entire shark, not just their fins.
So, I mean, they could still have shark fin soup, is what I'm saying. There's a loophole, is what I'm saying. If you eat all the shark, it's okay.
If you utilize the entire animal, sure. But
don't just be lopping off fins.
Don't just take their fins and let them out to die.
Although, circle of life, somebody's eating a shark. Ain't nobody eating shark carcasses? Oh, yeah, that's a waste.
No, sharks are the cleaners of the ocean. So, they're the ones that are out there looking for things that are dying, and they eat them. So, if a shark is dying. If not other sharks are getting in
I was going
it,
to say
then,
maybe another shark.
But that doesn't happen that often.
Cannibalism. Now I'm curious, what does shark taste like? Kind of think cross between tuna fish.
I've heard it's really flaky.
Ooh, like
and
whiting?
Really oily, yeah.
Maybe like a sardine. Shark pizza? I'm throwing stuff out there is all I'm saying. I know as a fat dude I have no reason to be looking for new stuff to eat, but I'm just throwing it out there is all I'm saying. Like there's some untapped animals that we haven't punched and ate, is all I'm saying. We didn't ran through the chickens. The chickens ain't got a chance. No. Not only we eating the chickens, we just cutting off wings and eating them by themselves. Down to the feet. The feet we eating. Mm-hmm. And then when they try and have offspring, we eating chicken, period. Like we don't care about nothing chicken. We eating all of it.
They were made to be eaten. Cows too.
Cows too, from the milk, from the rooter to the tutor, as Shannon Sharp once said. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing surviving on a cow. Pig too. We don't care. Yep. Down to the intestines, chitlins. Mm. I still fucks with some chitlins. If you know how to cook them.
I've never had it yet.
No? And rest in peace, Granny. Granny made some really good chitlins. Yeah. It almost tastes like ramen noodles. That's weird. That's the only way I can describe it. She cooked them up like ramen. She had a nice little soupy broth, and then she just cooked the chitlins. It took her forever to do it, and that's the reason why we all trusted her to eat, because she cleaned them like nobody's business. Like she would be in there for days cleaning this stuff.
That's crazy.
You gotta scoop all the poop out.
Yeah.
You gotta scoop all the poop out. So, on to the topic of the day. I know that was one heck of an opening. Yes, that's one heck of an opening. Topic of the day, board games and games in general.
Yes.
So how about we just leave it at that, because we're probably going to end up going to commercial pretty soon. Do you have a favorite board game? Because we're board game heavy.
Yes, we are.
So it's going to be weird for you to just pick one board game.
I'm struggling.
But you can give me your top three board games.
Okay, Monopoly for sure.
Monopoly is a solid answer. We'll say board and card games. How about that? Broaden your horizon.
Okay, yeah, Monopoly for sure. Card game, I really like solitaire.
Solitaire?
I know that's like crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
Because that's like a
it's an old
game.
Grandma game. Computer game, come on. My grandma used to set up solitaire on the table.
That's what I'm saying. On the table, solitaire is the best. Like I know it's all on the computers and everything. Like it's free on there.
I don't even think I've played solitaire in like God knows how long.
It's so good. Such a good game. And then, I really liked that death game that we have out there. I just can't remember the name of it right now.
The one where you're just like, is this death real or something like that? Like it gave like weird deaths.
Yeah, and you had to do true or false,
right.
And then a little statue would go around the board. Yeah.
It was just like, hey, did this person in 1973 jump off a building and do 3 backflips and try to land in a cup? And he's like, well, that doesn't sound real at all. False. And then like, nope, it's true. Somebody did a triple axel, dove into a cup and missed.
Yep.
And he died. And it's just like, well, I would have never expected that.
Yeah. Those are crazy.
Yeah. I do love some weird games.
Yeah, those are the best. What is your top 3?
All right. I'm going to give you 3 randos. Checkers. I love me a good game of checkers. I started playing with my dad forever ago. That was like one of the first, like, I don't say adult games, but like one of the first few, like, okay, this ain't like kiddie stuff. That was the first game that I played. A lot of people say checkers is super simple, but when you're playing against somebody who's really good at it, I've played games with certain people that we would just end in draws consistently. Like, we just couldn't beat each other because we were always one step ahead of them. Like we were thinking chess, playing a checkers game type thing.
That's
and
funny.
it was just draw after draw. Like we got it to the point where my dad was so good, we found the computer game that was unbeatable. It was literally labeled the unbeatable checkers game. And he drew it to a tie every rip. Wow. He could never beat it, but he was like, I'm not going to lose to it either. And he drew it to a tie every rip. And I'm like, this thing is unbeatable, and you're just like, I'm not going to lose.
Leave it to a dad to get one over on an unbeatable. On a computer.
He didn't care. He was the John Henry Irons of checkers at that point. He wasn't finna let nothing beat him. Yep. So checkers is a solid game. There's so many weird games. I do love a good game of like either Cyanide and Happiness card game. So that's really fun. Or what's the other one that's like super popular?
What is it?
Yeah, the one with the black cards.
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah,
there you go. So those are like my two like goofball games. I love those games. Mm-hmm. We play just the two of us, and then we throw in Rando Calrissian, or we're letting fate decide what happens half of the time, and it's super fun. I do love those games.
Yeah, you just draw from the pile and see what a third person would have chosen.
Exactly.
So it's fun. You should try it if you
don't have enough people.
Yeah, if you don't have enough people.
Or if you do have enough people, and just throw Rando in there and just draw one extra one, like Rando wins.
I will say, Rando is chaotic. Mm-hmm. So be ready. Ready for that.
Sometimes it's just like, that was lame. And then sometimes it's like, all right, who threw out the best card in the game? And then it was just like, well, none of us. So that's the only thing. When playing with Rando, you got to have some semi-honest friends that won't take credit for Rando every rip.
Right.
But no, it's pretty solid. And then obviously after that, it's just a good old poker. I love a solid poker game. Gambling.
I don't understand poker. But maybe if I go through it a couple times and learn the rules.
Yeah, it's not super hard. It takes some practice and some know-how and some learning. And then there's the two major versions that everybody plays, which is Texas Hold'em and then 5-card hold. So you just got to find the one that you think you're going to play consistently and just learn. Not super hard game. And it's just a lot of fun in a group setting of people.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we will go to commercial and we'll be right back.
All right. Welcome back to the Nonsense Podcast. Bob's here. Kelly's here. The show goes on. Anyway, so do you have like a favorite board game moment? Because I got a few.
Ooh.
Just like a moment in board game history for yourself that you're just like, yeah, I did that. Or, man, this was funny type thing.
I mean.
Or did you just have like a classic table flip moment?
Table flip. So my number one goal when we play Monopoly is to get the railroads. Mm-hmm. I feel like when you get all the railroads, you're going to win that game.
Pretty much.
No matter what. So there was a time we played and I got all but one and I I sold out all of my other things just to get that railroad. Yeah. But I actually won that game and that was fun.
Yeah, because I remember you traded off, like you had Park Place and Boardwalk and you traded the two best blues for the last railroad. And you're like, I don't care about that.
Because statistically, you're not landing on those two that often.
Yeah, but if you land on one of those, that's game. But you just took the chip away approach. And I don't understand how. Like, I remember I owned one of them at one point. And I kept landing on yours instead of landing on my own. And I'm like, this is just utterly ridiculous that I can't just be saved from the railroads.
Right.
You are a railroad demon. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Native American in you, and it's just like revenge. God. Just straight revenge. Just like the railroads belong to me.
That is not even a thing.
I don't know what it is, but it's ridiculous.
What is your moment?
Bluffing somebody out of $500 in a poker game.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I bluffed him hard. I had 0 in my hand. So for those who are poker players, just bear with me. It was, I don't remember exactly. We were playing Texas 2 card. I don't remember what he had, but he was sitting on something. I want to say it was between a straight or a flush. Like he was sitting on a good, like a solid, like he can be cocky with a hand type thing. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there with like 4 high. Like I had nothing. Like I have no business even betting at this point. And I'm just like, whatever. Granted, it was fake money, but still, like it was, sometimes you just play for the love of the game. Right. But it was a $500 bet at that point. Like he was throwing down 500, and I was to call on 500. Now I could have just bowed out and like, you got me, buddy. I ain't got it. But I'm just like, nah. He ain't finna get me that easily. And plus I had nothing to lose. So I'm just like, cool, 500, let's do it. And I'm sitting there like, I'm betting him, and I'm like, call it, whatever. And then we go around the table again. Everybody's dropping out. It's back on him. Now me and him are sitting there, 101, called 500. He raises an extra hundo. I raise an extra hundo. And like I raised 100 on top of calling his 100. And he was just like, ain't no way I'm finna lose all of this on one hand. And then he just threw his cards on the table. He was like, you must got something solid because I confidently, like I didn't even let him thoroughly just like raise the bet. As soon as he started sliding chips, I'm like, go ahead, take them, let's do it. And he was just like, nah, ain't no way. He just called my bet and raised it again that fast. Ain't no way. I'm out. Whoa. And I'm sitting there with nothing in my hand. He was so mad.
I would be
so mad.
I would be
because I was just ready. I'm just like, come on, let's do it. Like I'm just like so gun ho ready. It was mostly because I was ready to go home. But I was just like, no, like he ain't got it. Ain't no way he got it.
You are a great liar when you want to be.
When I want to be, I should say. But no, that was just me saying fuck it. I think it's more of me not lying, but just me saying fuck it so confidently that there was nothing you could do about it. You had to either believe me or just take the hit if you were going to lose. Now, granted, that has shot me in the foot a lot when it comes to poker because I will lie through my teeth and have nothing and then get beat by somebody who confidently knows what they're doing.
Right.
But I will lie. I will lie to see what I can pull off. Yeah.
So to flip the subject a little bit, you sent me a video earlier that Nintendo's got a museum now.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
We can talk about Nintendo's museum. Did you watch the whole thing? I'm assuming you watched the whole thing. For those at home, Nintendo's opening up their own Nintendo museum right next to the OG factory, which I think is awesome. I think that's probably the best thing about it is putting in the same parking lot. I don't know if they said the original factory is still there, but it is the same location. Not important, but very interactive, super interactive, an actual museum, not an arcade, but they have a lot of interactive stuff. So Shigeru Miyamoto, if I'm not mistaken, that was really went through the history. Did not know that he started with the company in '77. So that's like, nuts.
I worked here, and this is things that I worked on.
Right.
It was so cool.
No, it was super awesome. Love the press conference, the tour of it. But yeah, no, they take you through the history. The main room with everything like has all of the OG games, nice little displays and stuff like that.
So that's what I was gonna bring up. The displays, and if you haven't watched the video of the tour yet, please watch that first and then come back. But when they were showing off the shelves, they kind of didn't look that full.
No, so they're still building.
Okay, so they're gonna put more in.
Yeah, no, they're still putting more in. It's not done yet. I think for opening day is not until October.
Oh yeah.
So they still got a ways to go, but the basic setup is pretty much ready to go.
I really like that they had the Japanese version of games, and then the English or the Western was
right next to it. So yeah, not to finally be able to see Super Famicoms and Famicoms kind of displayed everywhere is really cool. But I think after the Famicom series, everything just kind of switched over to everybody gets the same thing. Which is really weird. I wish somebody, I don't know this. I really want to know, like, what was the deal with the Famicom versus the Nintendo versions? Because they're so vastly different, for one. Like, they don't look the same at all. At least for Famicom and NES. Then Super Famicom and Super Nintendo were similar, but still not the same. And I really want to know, like, what was the big deal? Was it Japanese propaganda?
I don't know. Maybe it was just aesthetics, and they're just like, this is how it should be. And Americans were like, no, bigger
and better. So. Yeah, because having the consoles is just bigger for no reason. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't like this. This is gross. Our cartridges were like 10 times the size for no reason. Yeah. Like a Super Famicom cartridge is like this big, this tall, like that wide. And then the NES is like tall and like fat for no reason. I'm like, plastic. Why? All plastic. Like zero reason for that much plastic. Just wasteful. Just wasteful. So I'm just kind of curious about that kind of stuff. I would love to have owned a Famicom. Yeah. It seems like it's a really cool device. I think the only weird thing that I don't like about the Famicom is, like, the Nintendo sits in front of you. You know what I mean? Like, it's the TV, the Nintendo, then you know? But the Famicom seems like it has to be right next to you. Because the cords are not detachable. They're attached to the console, and they're very short. So you have to sit, like, right next to the console, which is really weird.
But I guess if you think about the time, we were sitting right up against the TV.
Yeah.
Like that. So that's kind of in the time, I guess.
I guess.
So one thing that I really liked about what he was showing off is they have display screens along the top. And they have the sound angled to a point where if you move, that it
you can only hear the one.
That,
yeah, that was... I don't know if that's some weird new technology that I don't know about it, but I've never heard of that before. Yeah. Where and the screens aren't that far away from each other. Like they're almost next to each other. Yeah. And then you're just like, if I step here, I can only hear this screen. If I step over here, that dies, and I can only hear this.
They said it was angled speakers or something like that, where it's like facing straight underneath of the display. Yeah. So you
only get like that. Not hear the other ones is kind of crazy. Yeah. Which then makes me worry, like, what happens when it gets crowded? And once it gets crowded, like, if I'm too far away, do I just hear everything all of a sudden?
Well, if you really pay attention to, like, when he was talking, you could hear a lot of, like, muffled. You can muffly hear all of them at the same time. Okay. But when you're underneath of one specific, then it's just you hear it all the way through.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah. So seeing like the true history of Nintendo, which a lot of people don't know, starting off as a card company, and they're really trying to hype up their card games again, which makes me wonder, like, are they going to like try and bring those card games back? Like, I'm kind of interested because obviously as Americans we never got to really play them.
Right. They kind of sort of did in the museum because they have a full...
Yeah, they have an interactive version of it there. And you can make your own cards, which is also kind of dope. So I'm like, I think they're trying to, like, slowly reintroduce this card game for some reason, which I'm not against. That sounds pretty cool.
I didn't know that they were into so many, like, toys.
Yeah, no, they were a straight toy company.
It was they had a lot of different stuff down there.
That little baseball game that you could play in the middle of your house, which seems like that would have never flown in America. So much broken stuff. Oh my god. So much broken stuff.
Well, I guess they just use like the ping pong balls.
Still.
So
do you know how ruthless kids are?
Yes, but you're not gonna break anything that's steady enough with a ping pong ball.
Yeah, we're American children. We're breaking everything. Smash.
I think you have more smashy times with the bat than
that too. And they even foamed up the bat pretty hard. But yeah, no, showing them having those on display and then putting them in small, like, little Japanese rooms, I thought was pretty cool. So it felt like you were back in the 80s and stuff like that. I'm like, that's super cool. Well, there's a little stuff like that I was really enjoying.
Yeah, he was really showing off that baseball toy. So in the rooms, you could play the baseball game, and then when you hit the ball, and it hits different things in the room, then they like do things like they'll spin and make noise. Yeah.
I think you actually get points for some of it.
Yeah.
Like he's encouraged you to break some rooms.
You're not breaking
rooms, but like hitting things. But I mean, still, either way, good fun.
Yeah.
Good wholesome fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, those things were super dope.
They said there was 8 different games, but they only showed
the one or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Because I think the biggest one that they showed was the playable games with the giant controllers. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a great way for me to stress you out once again, because we're going to try and play Mario together.
No.
And I'm controlling the D-pad.
No, you're not. No, you're not. That's the most important thing.
So for those who don't know, I have you talk about dyslexia. I guess I have a dyslexia for playing Mario games. At least OGs. I can't play Mario at all. Like I struggle playing Mario games. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you would call it, but I'm just like I'm overthinking, underthinking, and then I get to the point where I just say fuck it, send it, and then you're just like calm down, and I'm like nope, fuck it, send it. Yeah. So you're having PTSD every time I play. Yeah. Like you're just in this shell shock, just like I can't watch you play. It's just nerve wracking. No. I don't know that there's anybody else that gets that feeling watching somebody else play a game, but you get that every time I touch the controller for a Mario game.
Anybody that grew up with younger siblings, or even older siblings that were terrible at games, and would always be like, "It's my turn," and wasted all your lives.
I don't waste all the lives.
I'm not saying you.
I waste a few of them.
I'm just saying it's PTSD from childhood, from having your little sibling ruin all your lives that you worked really hard for, and they suck.
Yeah. I was on life getting duty most of the time.
See?
So I was told to go to the easier levels and play them over and over again so I can get extra lives.
Yep.
But now I don't even get to do that no more, because now we found the secret level in Super Mario World, so now I can't even do that anymore. I'm useless in Super Mario. After the second donut world, it's over with for me. I'll help you find some secrets. If it's a flying level, I got you. After that, I'm dunzos. Yeah. Second donut world. I feel like we got to do that again at some point. We need to stream me playing Mario so I can stress the entire world out. But what's weird, though, is I can play Mario Maker. Yeah. I play Mario Maker like nobody's business.
Yeah, it's easy.
Super easy to me. But regular Mario, absolutely not. I can't do it. It's not possible. So, is there anything in the Mario Museum that you're looking for? If we were to go, what do you like? Oh, I'd have to stop by and check that out. Or you think they should add?
I mean, everything they have. It's really cool. But no, I have to see the original toys and original things that they like. I think it was the first floor or second floor. Mm-hmm. Is all the original stuff. So I'm really curious about all that. It just seems like you don't think Nintendo is that old, but they're from like what is it, 18
something? Yeah, no, they've been around forever.
It's crazy how long they've been around. So I'm really curious about like what did they get into? Like they made a printer.
Yeah, they were part of printers. I wonder if they're gonna have any conversation about the hotels they owned, because Nintendo owned Love Hotels, and I don't know if they're gonna add that next to the Mario display.
It'll probably be somewhere, like maybe a brochure or something.
I just think they should. They got it. If they're gonna tell the story, you got to tell the whole story. Mm-hmm. Where was Nintendo when the bombs dropped? What? They dropped 2 bombs. They dropped the sun on Japan. Where was Nintendo? Were they part of the construction business at that point? They were into everything, is what I'm saying.
What city were they in?
I don't know. I'm very curious, though. Like, where were they when bombs were dropping? Were they a part of some of the restoration? Take a look. Because like we said, they've been around since 18. Well, they were probably a small company, so they probably didn't matter back then. Ooh, research.
They're in Osaka.
That was not one of the towns that got hit. Because it was, I don't even remember what cities got hit now that I think about it. Why am I blinking on history all of a sudden? These are things that I typically knew.
So most of their buildings are in Tokyo.
Okay.
By Shibuya, of course.
Of course, yeah.
And then they have one in Osaka. So, I mean, I don't know when this opened. It looks like a newer store, so...
I was going to say, Osaka's new.
Yeah, but it's about... Like, it's not that far away from where the big one dropped.
The Enola Gay?
Yeah.
Because I don't remember. They dropped the one, Nagasaki and somewhere else, right? Or is that Nagasaki the name of the bomb? Either way, we're talking about the atomic bombs, okay? Like, look, they dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan, and I'm just curious, where was the Gundam? And where was Nintendo? Where was Mario at?
Why are you making my Google crazy? It's Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Okay, Hiroshima. See, look, I knew they were somewhat. I'm not making your Google crazy, sir. I'm just asking questions that I need answers to. That's all. I was just curious, where were they dropping the bombs, and then who did they blow up? Speaking of dropping bombs, I told you about that. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast. The guy who got hit with both atomic bombs.
Yeah.
That's also the craziest story I have ever heard in my life. That man was just like, I'm going to work, do my own business. The sun.
That poor man.
That poor man was just like, oh God, the sun. Made it away. Went to the other office and just like, you won't believe what I just saw yesterday. They just dropped the sun and obliterated the, oh my God, the sun again.
I hate it. That's terrible.
And he survived both.
Yeah.
So just imagine if he had survived both, if we did end up dropping a third. Because we threatened him.
Yeah.
We did threaten him with a third.
And he would be there.
And he would have probably been there for the third. If he was there for the 3-piece, make that dude an emperor. Mm-hmm. He deserves to be the new emperor at that point.
It's that, and then I think it's part of a shrine, that bridge looking thing. That stood up for everything too.
Yeah.
Crazy
stuff is all I'm saying. Like I'm not like pro A-bomb, but I mean that's crazy that I've always said piss America off and see what we build. We build some ridiculous stuff. And Nintendo, Japan got bombed twice and they made anime, Nintendo, and Toyota. So they still win in the end, technically, because they have all the superior stuff.
They do. And Americans want to be there so bad.
Yeah. That's how they got us. Yeah. They played the long con.
Yeah.
And said, we won't have the superior race, but we'll make everybody want to be here. And then one day they're just going to shut their doors. And then they'll let no one in. They're going to pull a Cartman. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be like, no one can come. And then I think the rest of the world will flip out. The moment Japan closes their doors for good, I think the rest of the world will flip out just a little bit.
Yeah.
If they just stop sending us anime, stop sending us video games. So they got all the video games. What am I going to play? Xbox? What are you, nuts? I'm done. Because they got Sony and Nintendo. Mm-hmm. If they close their doors to video games, I'm not going to have anything to play.
You're going to have to be a PC gamer.
I can't.
Oh, no.
And the PC ain't got nothing to play except for Nintendo games. I bought a handheld PC, and I only have Nintendo games on there.
That's crazy.
It's not right.
No.
It's not right. I can't do it. I think they're playing the long con. They're never going to drop a bomb on us. They're just gonna deprive us like crackheads. That's how they're gonna do it, man. Talk about a great scheme if it's legit. Like I'm Alex Jones in it right now.
No.
But I kind of hope I don't fully Alex Jones it and become right.
Don't.
But if they
don't even put that into the universe.
I'm just saying, if they just did that, they just slowly got us hooked on everything Japan like crack. It's in the sushi, the ramen, the anime.
It's called MSG. Sir.
I'm just saying, like they slowly just get us all indoctrinated to the Japanese life, and then just one day cut it off. Mm-hmm. You get nothing. All the Japanese sushi spots close.
They're going to take my Spy Family away from me.
They take Spy Family away. They take One Piece. They take Gundam and Dragon Ball. All of that just goes away one day. What are we going to do? There's nothing to do after that.
Nope. All the creatives is gone. All of it. Every last bit.
I gotta drive an American car consistently from now on? Are you kidding me?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, not gonna happen, man. That's a conspiracy theory. It might be the strongest conspiracy theory that I would never want to happen. Can't do it. What if they just came and took all my swords? It's just like, you can't have swords anymore. Japanese. Just everything has to go. Like, no, I can't have these anymore. Get them out of here.
That's terrible.
It's crazy. I don't like this theory. And I'm scared. They're turning a freaking frogs game.
Stop it. That's terrible.
I'm just saying, man. I'm not pro Alex Jones. All I'm saying is Alex Jones is Nostradamus. You call him crazy, and then they turn the frogs gay. They made fun of him when they said that Facebook. He called Facebook stealing data. He called that.
Well, they had too much to begin with anyway, so it was gonna happen.
Yeah, but the people were calling him crazy. They're just like, it's because he called that like when Facebook started in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And he was just like, they're gonna make complete databases with all of your information, and then they're gonna sell it off to companies. That sounds psychotic. And now we're just like, yeah, just let them take my data. Who cares? Like, we're so weird about this stuff now. But then we called him a psychopath.
Yeah.
He keeps calling him. That's all I'm saying. I don't like it. I don't like that the crazy man is right sometimes. Even if he's not, he's wrong more times than not. He's right on some of the stuff that we call him psychopathic for. Anyway. Video games.
Yeah, let's come back to this.
That was a tangent among tangents.
Yes,
from
it was.
Nintendo to Nagasaki.
Yes, it was.
So, I know we kind of discussed it last time on the podcast about some of the games that you were trying to play and things that you were playing. We don't talk about it, your gaming life on the podcast a lot, Mm-hmm. What's the game that you've played in the past, obviously, that you were just like, why aren't more people talking about this? Why aren't more people playing this? What is going on? What is the game that you're just like, I needed to get more light? We all know that Henny is forever begging for a Dynasty Warriors game, and he wants more Dynasty Warriors.
Specifically Gundam.
Specifically Dynasty Warriors Gundam. But do you have a game like that where either you've seen it, you have a concept for, or you played it, and you're just like, more of this, please?
I don't think so, because the games that I play were pretty popular. Mm-hmm. Like Sims is super popular. Everybody plays it now.
Yeah.
Bully kind of got its up with YouTubers picking it up.
Yeah, that's very true.
Red Dead's always gonna be hilarious and sad and
I don't
all
know
the
why.
emotions.
It has so many different things. Mm-hmm. Do you think they should make more Red Dead games? You're actually quite content with no more Red Dead.
Yeah, no, that's the end of the story.
I think they should do one more.
For who?
I think they should go young Dutch. I think Dutch needs to be the protagonist of one. I think a younger Dutch, and then like do the same time skip where it ends up with Blackwater, and then you like switch halfway to Arthur. Because everybody loves Arthur. You can't tell me that everybody doesn't love Arthur. Yeah. So you can do like younger Dutch picking up Arthur and John, going through the motion, and then ending it off at Blackwater. Because at this point, I really want to know what goes on at Blackwater. They really never discuss Blackwater.
They tried to rob a bank, and the Pinkertons were there. And they had to rush out of there, and they had to leave all their stuff behind. Yeah, but it
wouldn't have caused that much. I think it was a setup is what I'm saying. Like, I think there was... Yeah. Like, I think they're leaving out an inside job because certain people don't talk about it as much as everybody else. Mm-hmm. Like, John, Arthur, they're just like, what happened? Like, what went so wrong that it went this wrong so fast? Mm-hmm. I think it was a setup, and I bet money it was Hosea. I don't know why. I just feel like it was Hosea's fault.
Why?
I don't know. I just got a funny feeling. This is from an outsider.
Okay.
I feel like Hosea said something to somebody that he wasn't supposed to say something to.
Okay.
I don't blame Dutch is what I'm saying. But it would be crazy if it was all Dutch's fault from the get-go.
Yeah.
So a young Dutch wouldn't be terrible. Because that's all three people now. Like, that's your main three people to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't think Arthur Well, I guess Arthur wasn't even mentioned in the original. So
with John's story?
And just John's story.
He did talk about him.
But he referred to another person. But he never directly said Arthur's name is what I'm saying, I don't think.
He did.
Oh, did he? Okay, well, never mind. So yeah, no, I think they should do a Dutchman then.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say maybe they should do a new character. But I don't think there's worth a new character unless you have them have that character die at Blackwater. Like he was one of the guys that died at Blackwater.
Oh yeah, do like an Arthur where he's super important, but then that's it. And then you're carrying on Arthur's story.
And then you just pick up with Arthur.
Ooh, that would be hard.
Pull another Zach where you just love him and then you're like, oh snap, it's Blackwater. Oh, he's going to die here.
That's terrible.
It's possible. I think they can go one more step backwards, but I think after that, there's nothing else to go. I think seeing younger Dutch meet up with John and Arthur, getting that story out the way, and then leading up to Blackwater. I feel like a lead up to Blackwater would be good.
Yeah. No, now that you mention it, that does sound pretty good. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But no, I don't have any games that I would want more popular, I guess.
Okay.
Because all of my games really are popular.
Yeah.
So, no. Maybe Crash. But I feel like with the reboot, Crash came back for a little bit.
The trilogy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they dropped a new game.
Yeah.
Right after, so.
Yeah. But people didn't realize how hard it was.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, nah, we don't like this game. It's like, no, it's just a hard game.
It's just a hard game, and they weren't ready for it. They were like, it's not supposed to be this hard. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be this hard.
It's not hard.
And they made it easier. They've made it easier. Yeah. And it's just like, no, it's still too hard. No, I haven't finished it. I tried to finish it.
I haven't finished it either. It's that hard.
Yeah.
It's always been that way.
Understandable. So,
but yeah, what about you?
I had a concept for a game. Since we were talking Dynasty Warriors.
Okay.
I had a good idea for a Dynasty Warriors game. I don't think they'll ever make it, but I'm just gonna throw the name out there. Final Fantasy Dynasty. I think that could work. Because they kind of touched on it with Dissidia.
Yeah.
So Dissidia was all of the Final Fantasy characters coming together to fight. But they pretty much only fought themselves. You know what I mean? They just fought the evil version and the good version themselves. But to have an all-out massive war would be crazy. Because there's a lot of obvious wars in Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of factions in Final Fantasy if you go from the beginning all the way to the end. So there's tons of grunt enemies that you can have. But to go through and just mow down hundreds of them would be fucking fun. And I'd play consistently. It's the simplistic game to create. There's a lot of weapon systems. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be sword-based. So that I understand that might not make it super fun. But again, everybody has a magic system or a different style of magic system. Everybody has, these big, ridiculous weapons that they use. They all have different massive armies that they can fight against. And then plopping different bosses here and there would be pretty crazy. Or having some of their super boss forms, mid-fight sometimes would be nuts. I'd be all in for it. I think it's an idea or a concept that could exist and should exist. And then if you want to get super crazy, I don't think they should, but just throw Kingdom Hearts in there one time. I don't think they should throw Kingdom Hearts in there. I'm a Square fan that don't fuck with Kingdom Hearts as much as everybody else, but it's okay. I think a Dynasty Warriors Final Fantasy game could work. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I was gonna say I know that Final Fantasy is very story heavy, but so is Dynasty Warriors. So.
Yeah, I mean, almost all of them have story. Granted, they're telling the same story over and over again for the most part, but again, if bringing them together like that, they've done that before with Gundam, obviously, and creating a brand new story for them. And you have a system with Dissidia where they've already kind of brought them together to create a story. So you can do it again. You can create factions, which they did in Dissidia, of like, well, even though Cloud doesn't see any of his personal friends, but he makes friends with these group of people, you know what I mean? He got along with, Bart's and Titus and stuff like that. So I'm like, that's kind of cool for them to have like friend groups amongst each other. What I would do, the only thing I request is that you have to add at least 3 characters per game instead of just 1. 3 to 4. I think no less than 4. And the only reason I say 4 is because Final Fantasy 15. Then you just get the whole band. You get all the boys. To leave one of them out would be so unfair. So you got to have all the boys together. And I don't care what anybody says. 15 is a great Final Fantasy.
It is. It's fun.
It's just
a lot of drama.
It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of hidden drama that's not in the game that you got to piece stuff together for. But it's a great game. Yeah. And again, I would just like to see Noctis interact with some other people. I don't think Noctis has had the opportunity to really branch out of his game yet. Because even though he was in Dissidia, I think he was kind of soloing it in Dissidia. Yeah. And even in his stint in Tekken, he had no like cross story in Tekken. So I want Noctis in something else. It's time for Noctis to show his face somewhere else and show that he has some kind of character. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for something new. Final Fantasy Dynasty Warriors. I ain't got enough Final Fantasy in my life. And obviously people care. Mm-hmm. They did it with Persona. They've done it with Zelda. They've done it with One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen and all types of stuff. Everybody's got something. I need Final Fantasy to get their name in the sign. They've done Fire Emblem like 5 times now. No more Fire Emblem, please. Please, for the love of God. No more Fire Emblem. No more Fire Emblem. But yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Other than that, there's been obviously Gamescom is going on right now, so there's plenty of other games getting announced. Nothing that I care about at the moment, other than they showed a lot of new clips of Sonic Shadow Generations, I guess it's called. But other than that, nothing else that I care about. They just keep showing the same new sets of trailers, and I'm just like, I don't care. Fucking release the game, or just keep working on the game in silence. Like, don't keep updating me on something that already has a release date. Right. But that's neither here nor there.
They're trying to pump you up.
I'm already pumped. Just make the game and shut up. Don't tell me everything. That's what they do. They tell you everything, and then I don't want to play it anymore. Just let me have it. Just either shut up or let me have it. Either way, have you had enough of gaming talk for right now? You look miserable.
You don't have to point it out.
I'm gonna point it out. You look like it. You need a snack?
Maybe.
You need some water?
Probably.
You need some more water, cold water? Because, granted, these glasses are nice, but they don't hold cold ice water like the FN Entertainment water bottle. And you can get one of those today. If you go to www.fnentertainment.com, go to the merch section, and then you just scroll through some of that stuff. There's a lot of stuff. Well, there's no merch section anymore now that I think about it. You've revamped the website. So now you just go to www.fnentertainment.com and just scroll down just a smidget. You'll see some Instagram stuff. You probably see my face, and then you'll just see, buy some stuff now. Shop. All you gotta do is click on it, and then bam, takes you right to the effing shop. So you can buy some water bottles, some mugs, some of these glass cups. It's really nice. This is real glass, by the way. There's some glass cups, there's some hoodies, t-shirts, all types of stuff. Winter's coming. Get a hoodie. Be pre-prepared.
Stickers to go on your textbooks for school.
Oh, yeah, it's back to school starting. I was thinking about doing a notebook, but I don't know what to put on it. Just comment below if you think you would like an FN Entertainment notebook. Let everybody know while you're writing stuff that this is the greatest podcast you've ever listened to. But don't tell your teachers you're listening to it, because they might give you an F. Because I don't like the teachers.
We don't like teachers, and we have public school education.
Yeah.
Here,
so support our public education by getting some public education school supplies. Bam. So yeah, get you some stuff. Listen to the podcast on Spreaker and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. But just mostly Spreaker. Just listen to it on Spreaker, because Spreaker's awesome. Great website, transcribed episodes, podcast playlist, like all the things you can ask for. Yep. All the things you can ask for. So check it out.
Leave us a comment.
A like. Drop a like.
Rate it.
Rating is important, apparently. I didn't know that. So yeah, rate the podcast. Share with your friends. Let everybody else know. Like, hey, I think this podcast is funny. Even if you think it's mildly funny, share it with somebody else and say, hey, listen to this podcast. Am I crazy? Is this funny? Is this entertaining? And they'll probably be like, yes. No, this is great. This is good, wholesome fun.
There you go.
Not controversial. A handful of hot takes every once in a while. Some ridiculousness. I call this podcast water cooler talk. It's just, two people sitting down having a conversation. So yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what you like. Drop us an email. Drop us a comment or a like wherever you're listening to. Share with your friends. Let them know this is your new favorite podcast and it's super dope and crazy. And until then, we'll catch you tomorrow with some more daily dose of nonsense and some clips and shorts and whatnot. That's why you got to follow us everywhere so you can keep up with all this stuff. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.